Um, 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 um. Welcome tonight. We're going to speak on noise. And we know nowadays how noisy the world is, but it is to be understood, to bring into our lives, yes, to transform our life really. So we don't get too absorbed in it. So, what is noise? So, noise is, I would, well, the way it is fully described is that untuned, unwanted sound, which is created or produced, and it's by the objects, and it's in front of a subject. So the subject is the still and the silent. So in front of it is all noise. And to really understand the toxicity of this noise, in some of the wisdom classes, they kind of say, what is the opposite of noise? So if we immerse in that, then we understand that that situation. So annually, we used to go for a silence course, and we would be immersed in silence for 4 to 7 days. And it's not all meditation or anything. It's just remaining silent and just doing things here and there, but just doing it by yourself and going for it. And when you come out of that silence, 4 to 7 days or whatever, you come out of the silence and you will know how toxic the noise level is when you expose yourself again into the daily routine. Then we find how noisy and the toxicity of the noise is. So the noise pollution is the next big health crisis, and it's to do with mental health. All these gadgets that we have, and the more we are attached to it, the more mental disturbance we get. So in well, good few years ago, the television like would switch off by a certain time, the radios will switch off, everything had limit. It was switching off to allow that silent space for our growth. But nowadays, everything is 24/7. Like you can watch anything you want to watch, and things just roll on, roll over. And there's no peace really. We are just constantly bombarded. Even something we want to watch on the internet, and you find whilst you are watching and so engrossed in some subject, and suddenly the ads start coming in, and they go on and on and on. So there's just constant distraction and disturbance all the time, which kind of causes irritation, nervousness, high levels of stress, lowers our quality, lowers our awareness, and of course the blood pressure goes up. So all these things are really not good for us. It is just there in this world because there's profit to be made. But in that, we are all caught up. So we must know what this is doing to our body, and try and have a little bit of time away to analyze that today, how well did I do in my stillness. Did I cut back the noise today? Did I cut back the noise here? So a lot of noise comes from body mind level. It is not in our pure awareness. So when we are witnessing, we must observe that today, if I attach too much to my body mind, what I call caterpillar talk, if I'm talking about me, I must stop that, because that is noise. So understanding that. Next, if I'm talking past, future, if I'm sitting in front of the television and just watching news, which is, you know, thousands of miles away, and if I'm not really, uh, you know, doing anything towards that situation, then why am I watching? So that must stop. So being here and now, is so important, and uncluttering, the nonsense in the head, so that the whole body can rest. And, understanding as well that wherever I go, I should not be exposed, and, in this toxicity. So it lowers our vibration, and it brings a lot of tiredness, and because it's toxic, of course, so it's not doing any good. And you know balancing with going out, walking in the nature, bringing in a bit more stillness to dissolve the noise. So this is very important, just studying ourselves and seeing what am I doing with my body. So one beautiful example was, of course, nowadays we're not going to the airport, but we've all experienced sitting in the airport, how much noise and clutter there is around. But even in the midst of that, I can find myself stillness. I can come back to myself, and I can rest in my own being. And wherever we go, wherever there is noise, except, yes, it's there, but can I be in the stillness of my being? That's what we need to find more and more now. And understand that that's the only way the noise will dissolve in my system. So masking it. So first thing in the morning, many people go to the gym and all the televisions are on and the music is on, the announcement is on. So much noise, people talking, everything is there. But how can I mask it? But if we put the plugs in there, that's not very good, because then we are needing something to mask it. So try doing it without that, because we don't need a gadget to do it. So try doing without it and say, yes, I'm listening to this. This is not good for my system. I don't need it. Just cut the noise out one at a time, one at a time. And soon we find we're not even engaged in it. We are just so rooted in our own being. So that way we're coming from the noisiest 10 down to 1, which is stillness. So in all that, you can do whatever stillness you want to invite. You can do, even when you are swimming, like you find the noise in the head goes. So instead of attaching to it, focusing on the breath and focusing on the limbs, what they're doing, really observing and becoming a bit more witness. Again, late at night, just before we are resting and having self-reflection time, understanding that I should not be watching anything violent, anything that is too disturbing for my body. So the programs are there, doesn't mean I have to watch it. Just getting up and bringing more silence to the body, switching off all these gadgets. Absolute no is to have all these gadgets in the bedroom, a place of rest, and we don't realize that we're putting all this unwanted vibration, which is noise, into the room. And then we wake up sort of really tired. Why? Because that vibration is there, that toxicity is there. So transformation can only happen when we can really understand what this is and how I can improve my situation, like decluttering all these things. So then my mental status is a bit better. And, having time to see oneself in every situation. How well did I do today? Did I cut this noise away? Did I cut that noise? And the sooner we come into that silence, we are so much at peace, so much happier. And what makes us unhappy is that noise. It's just constant vibration, not good, especially for the children of tomorrow. They are growing up in so much of this, and the world must now really, change. And only we can bring the change for tomorrow, and create a better living, really. So remind ourselves before we die that, can I know silence? And let our goal be just of that self-realization. Yes, because noise destroys and distracts, which takes us away from our goal. So we want to be towards the silence and not towards the noise. So Let us drop the noise by reflecting and acting and eliminating. So that's the way ahead. Namaste.